Hello, I'm Rick Fiore, MEDCOM Chief of Staff.
And I'm Gregg Stevens, the Chief of the AMEDD Civilian Corps.
We want to take this opportunity to talk with you about efforts Army Medicine is making to minimize the impact of future restructuring and force-shaping initiatives on you and on our Army Medicine team. We're all aware the Army is entering a period of constrained resources, which will impact MEDCOM's budgets and workforce. In addition, Army Medicine initiatives such as the AMEDD Futures Task Force and Enhancing Army Medicine Performance will impact the MEDCOM organizational structure, which will affect our workforce. In late 2013, I chartered the Workforce 2020 project to improve, develop, and streamline the processes available to minimize adverse impacts on our civilian employees as we implement these significant organizational changes and position our command to accomplish the mission of the future with the resources that will be available then.
Now, change can be very unsettling. We all know that. But we all realize that some changes are necessary if Army Medicine is to maintain its relevance and its value into the future. You, our AMEDD team, are our most valuable resource. You are the backbone of Army Medicine, and we will do everything within our power to take care of you. The best way to retain our valued employees and meet future mission requirements is to identify early on employees impacted by restructuring or force-shaping operations and proactively take measures to place these employees in other enduring positions, either locally or across the MEDCOM.
As we look on the past 5 years or so, we see that MEDCOM has an average annual employee attrition rate of about 8%. From this, we can project that 30 to 40% of our civilian positions are likely to become vacant during the next 5 years. These vacancies are our opportunity to shape our workforce for 2020 and beyond. But we have to be able to identify and take advantage of these opportunities. We need to know where our people are and what positions they fill. From that information, we can identify our non-enduring positions and who we need to potentially realign into vacant enduring positions. Our foundational tool is the Position Control Roster, or PCR. This aligns manpower requirements, personnel, and funding. Essentially, it's a working TDA. The PCR is created and maintained in the Defense Medical Human Resources System Internet, or DMRS I. All MEDCOM units, from military treatment facilities to headquarters MEDCOM, recently created their initial PCRs and are updating them as personnel transition in and out of our units. The PCR provides commanders and management teams the visibility and tools to be forward-looking when making personnel decisions. Every vacancy represents an opportunity for us to reshape the workforce and protect our employees by moving employees in non-enduring positions to enduring positions.
Now, we used this deliberate personnel management approach in a recent pilot of the Workforce 2020 processes to support the fiscal year 14 Warrior Care and Transition Program restructuring. The changes, which included inactivation of 14 Warrior Transition and community-based Warrior Transition units, impacted 50 civilian employees across the MEDCOM. I'm very happy to announce that we successfully managed those employees through placement programs, Vera VSIP, or their own personal elections, supporting all 50 employees. Most importantly, there were no separations by reduction in force. This success has been repeated with the closure of the health clinic at Schweinfurt, Germany, realignment of the Readiness Division at Fort Bliss, and closure of the Ainsworth Occupational Health Clinic at Fort Hamilton. These actions all have two things in common: people who were taken care of and no reductions in force.
We're using all available tools to mitigate adverse impacts on our workforce. Our intent is to provide options for our employees in non-enduring positions to continue to serve in other capacities as valued members of the Army Medicine team.
Working with you, we will maximize the use of voluntary relocations and management-directed reassignments to place impacted employees locally wherever possible. For employees we are not able to place locally, we will use the MEDCOM Placement Program, or MP2, to attempt to place them in vacant enduring positions across the MEDCOM. Now, MEDCOM will centrally fund permanent change of station moves to support these placements. Other means available include offering voluntary early retirement authority, or VERA, and voluntary separation incentive pay, VSIP, to eligible employees who decide that their best future path is to depart government service, and centrally funding training to assist employees where their skills do not match completely with available opportunities.
While our last resort would be to execute a reduction in force, we may need to request RIF authority because that request alone provides us greater flexibility and more options to support relocation and retention of our civilian personnel, even while our objective is not to need to execute any individual RIF actions. This remains the absolute last choice solution. We have shown that we can effect the changes needed and manage our personnel without resorting to a reduction in force, and we're confident that we continue to do so.
We will do everything in our power to ensure each and every employee impacted by the restructuring or force shaping initiatives has the opportunity for continued employment as members of the Army Medicine team. We will keep you informed as we work through the future restructuring actions and share information with you as it becomes available.
Thank you for your hard work and dedication to Army Medicine. Our soldiers, their families, and all of our beneficiaries depend on each and every one of you every day. To adapt a line from a World War I song to MEDCOM, when we are needed, we are there. When we are needed, we need you and your experience and expertise there. Workforce 2020 will be there for you. Serving to heal.
Honored to serve.